guys, it's Kaki. I got back from my 2 week trip to Eastern Europe last Thursday night and just want to kind of talk about how things went. I'm going to start off with the big news. I was on vacation for 2 weeks and weighed when I got home and I lost 4.2 pounds. I was thrilled to death. Um, I felt like that I would at least maintain. I didn't know if I would lose because I'm out you're out of your element. You're out of some things are out of your control, of course, when you travel. So I was concerned I wouldn't lose, but I am thrilled to death. This was my first trip as a post op, and I was a little nervous about it. I went in with a plan. I took protein powder with me to have in the mornings in case there wasn't anything available at breakfast. I didn't have to do that one single time. Every hotel that we stayed at, breakfast was included, and I was able to eat like a boiled egg, some meat, cheese, yogurt, berries, something like that. Oh, and vegetables. Of course, in Europe, they have raw vegetables usually in the morning on breakfast buffets. So I was able to find stuff to eat in the morning. My restriction is the tightest in the morning, so I wasn't able to eat much, but that was okay. It gave me a good start to the day. The other thing, everywhere we went to eat, I was able to select a protein and a vegetable. Also, there were some places that I chose something like a chicken salad, a Caesar salad, something that had greens and a protein. So I was able to stay where I wanted to in my eating choices. I did have a glass of wine. Uh, Usually with dinner most days I kept it to one glass. There were a few days that I didn't have a glass of wine. More about that later. But everything that I ate uh, went down well. I didn't have any problems, with the exception, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I feel like I'm a frequent traveler. I travel out of the country a couple of times a year. This trip gave me some guidance to how some changes that I need to make next time and things that I was really stressing that there was no need to. Things that I'm going to do different. I carried a lot of snacks with me, which I felt like I needed to. But like I said, I carried the protein powder, which I think was a good idea. I carried snacks that I thought I could eat, things like nuts, pork rinds. I carried the little pouches of tuna that I had at night. All of that was great. Next trip, I'm going to carry more of those tuna pouches. They have 70 or 80 calories, lots of protein, and as a nighttime snack after dinner, before I went to bed, they really hit the spot. So I'm going to carry more of those. I'm going to carry more bars. I'm not a big bar eater at home. In fact, I probably in the last almost 6 months post op, I've probably eaten 8 bars or less since surgery. But that really came in handy. I really enjoyed having those because we were kind of at the, even though it was a private tour, it was three of us. You're kind of at the mercy of the road and the um, tour leader where you eat. So some days it was 2 o'clock, which is not unusual in Europe, but some days it was 2 o'clock when we ate lunch, and I needed something a few hours before. The bar came in really, really handy. It was something I could just have in my purse that was pretty much like a complete meal. I got very tired of nuts. I don't eat a lot of nuts at home. In fact, I probably hadn't eaten over 2 or 3 servings since surgery. So they were kind of heavy. I'm glad I had them. It's something I'll carry again, but probably not as much. The pork rinds, uh, here again, it was a portable snack, but one that I didn't really eat much of. I ended up leaving most of those in Europe. I was next trip. I am going to remember that I'm probably always going to be able to find a market, a grocery store. The thing about Eastern Europe that was kind of different in the countries that we went to, regular grocery stores did not sell fruit. So I had brought some packets of peanut butter and I wanted to get a couple of times a small apple to go along with it. We found groceries that were like normal grocery stores, but they didn't sell fruit. We had to find a fruit market. But even at that, it wasn't hard to do. We were out exploring anyway. So next time, I'm probably going to bring what I need for the first few days and know that I'll be able to get supplement that when I'm there and not worry about lugging all that stuff around. Um, let's see what else was okay. It was awesome to not have to use an extender that on the plane. And this tray table, I was able to use it before for years, not been able to get that tray table down. So which kind of leaves you with having to hold on to a drink or something and the flight attendant coming around and trying to lower the tray table and it not going. It did this time. That's an amazing feeling. I didn't worry about encroaching upon my neighbor's space. It just felt great. And being able to go and do and walk without feeling like I was holding everybody else back and not avoiding doing things because I knew how exhausted I would be after I did it. I can't remember where we were. I don't remember what everything kind of blends together at this point. I just got home, but one of the places we went to, we had to walk up a hill to a castle, and it was a pretty good little climb. Before surgery, I could have done it, but I would have done it a lot slower and it would have kicked my butt and I probably would have been down for the rest of the day. I was able to do it, and once I got up there to look around, it just going to restaurants, not having to worry about are they going to have seats that I'll fit comfortably in? There were just so many things. And I am so thankful for this weight loss and this tool and being able to enjoy things more. I did talk about earlier, one thing I'm going to do different as far as knowing that have access to markets. The other thing that I'm going to do different, I do, I had gastric bypass, so I do, per my nutritionist, need to have 3 calcium supplements a day. I use the calcium chews that are kind of like Starburst. The days that I have a shake, I only have to have 2. Most days I did not get those in. When you're out seeing things and traveling, it was just hard to remember. I remembered to take my multi. I remembered to take my B complex because those were in the morning, but those things throughout the day, I was not good at remembering. So one thing I'm going to do different, I'm not a big believer in the patches. I know some people use them, don't have any problems, but I'm in healthcare and I've seen some folks who didn't do well with them, that their numbers weren't where they needed to. It's usually not in the first year, it's long term. But I am, my next trip, going to get the calcium patches. I figure something is better than nothing. And that way I'll ensure that on those busy days that I forget, I have a backup plan. Now, did have a full-blown dumping incident the last night we were there. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but then after retrospect, I know what happened. I was in Albania and we had dinner near the hotel. I chose a bowl of cream of spinach soup and a salad. So, nothing in that I think would have had any hidden sugar or carbohydrates. But, as I said earlier, I had had a glass of wine with a meal most days, 1 glass. I I prefer, not prefer, that's all I drink is dry wine. I like red wine and I like things like Sauvignon Blanc. Well, this particular restaurant, it was just red or white, no varietal, no label or anything. It was muggy and I didn't want a red wine, so I got a white wine, thinking it would be something on the drier side. When it came, it was not. It was not sweet, but it was less dry than I'm used to. I went ahead and drank it, I guess I was thinking, well, I've spent my money on this. I'm going to at least finish it. And didn't finish the spinach soup, didn't finish the salad. Got up to the hotel room and within a very few moments started having a flushing sensation to my face. I went and looked in the mirror. My face was red. My heart was racing. I was extremely nauseous, dizzy, and I got really scared. It took me because I was thinking, this can't be dumping. I didn't eat anything sugary, but I finally threw up and felt better. Within a few minutes, I got a washcloth and wet it with cool water, put it on my forehead, laid down. But there was a lot of fear because I thought, gosh, what if this is some type of complication? And here I am in freaking Albania, and all those things race through your mind. But then when I started thinking about the wine, I thought, it was probably sweeter than it needed to be, that I needed to have. And that's probably what did it. And when I woke up the next morning, which was the morning that we left, I felt fine. So I think that was what it was. And I learned a lesson. If I'm going to have wine, make sure that I can choose something dry. Stick with a varietal that I know is something that I can tolerate. And if they don't have it, skip it. And so that was a lesson learned from this. Anyway, I had a great trip. I hope that, talking about my experiences gives some of you folks who enjoy traveling and look forward to doing it post op some reassurance and some ideas. This Wednesday will be my 6-month surgiversary. So I'm going to do a video then and I'm going to talk about my week, my total weight loss, and just kind of give updates. So be on the lookout for that. Hope everybody has a great rest of the week, and I will see you soon. Bye.